3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Good everyone. Good day, good morning, good evening, wherever you're in the world. Welcome to another Power BI section brought to you by UrBizEdge. For today's session, we're having a special guest, a Power BI MVP on LinkedIn and also on other platform. His name is Federico Pastor, and he'll be taking us on his topic beyond PBI and native visual, a critic, right? So this program was brought with the collaboration between UrBizEdge and MHS Analytics. Okay, so for some of you that might be in Canada, we have a new sponsor, MHS Analytics. They're located in Canada and they offer services in Excel, that's Excel for data analysis. They also offer services in big data using Excel, that's big data using Power Query, Power Pivot, and also VBA, and also Power BI for business intelligence, and also financial modeling. So for some of you that might be in Canada and want training in all of these data analytics too, you can check out MHS Analytics online. And the motto basically is just they are committed to giving their clients the business intelligence edge they need using tools they already have, such as Excel, Power BI, Python, and SQL. And they also have so many courses, you can also check them online. And so these are some of the featured courses: big data analytics, Power BI, Python, SQL for data analysis, also financial modeling, and some other very interesting topic. And you can see the URL is also up, mhsanalytics.com. So you can check them out. There are new sponsors that are based in Canada. For us here, UrBizEdge, right? The organizers and the sponsor of this program. We're registered Microsoft Excel Consulting, also a financial modeling, business intelligence, data analysis, and also enterprise solution firm in Nigeria. We specialize in helping companies and high-value professionals be on top of their business data. We are also the developer of some data analytics tools, such as the Nigerian Finance Market Data Analysis tool, which can find in Microsoft Office store. So if you are using Excel, just go to add-ins and search for Nigeria. You see one of our tools there. Or you can also search any of the Microsoft Office store. You definitely see our tools there. Also, the developer of the Nigerian Stock Analysis Dashboard, which gives you automated reports of Nigerian stocks analysis on a daily basis, and so many other too. As you all know, we're also a training company. We have branches in Lagos, that's Lagos, Nigeria, also Port Harcourt, Nigeria, and also in Abuja. So our calendar for some of our upcoming training: on the 22nd of June, we'll be having business intelligence and dashboard using Microsoft Power BI. So for some of you that might be going into business intelligence, I want to learn how to use Power BI. So you can just reach out to us. So we're having a training on the 22nd of June. On the 20th of June, we're also going to be having in-depth Excel, executive dashboard, and business data analysis. So for some of you that might want to know how to do manipulation, data cleaning, and also a little bit of automation using macros in Excel, you can also check us out. Also, that's the calendar. And our special guest, Federico, and most of you might not know, is also the founder of FP20 Analytics and Data Challenge. So it's hosts every month. And we're actually talking about it before we started the whole presentation, and it's amazing. Okay, so let's give a brief about our special guest, Federico. So he's a Power BI and data visualization expert. He has over 3 years of experience working with Power BI. He's experienced in transforming complex data into clear, impactful visualization to communicate insight effectively. He's skilled in designing customized data visualization solutions that meets unique need for business and organization. He has provided services for industry leaders such as Lumel Technologies, Enterprise DNA, and also datatraining.io. So without further ado, I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll go backstage and hand over the session to Federico. So Federico, over to you. So I'm going backstage.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen.
Because you're seeing LinkedIn, you're seeing everything. No. So beside it, you will see, yes, it's coming out now. Yes,
Yeah,
I can
one.
see
Yeah, this is the
listings.
perfect one.
This is
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay,
So
good.
open,
Perfect.
click
If you
on
minimize
Power
it,
BI,
yeah.
let's say.
Yes, it's
Yes.
perfect.
Click on
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been
Awesome.
doing that for some time to actually know how to do it. Sorry, guys.
It's fine. It's fine.
You know, when we become old, we forget things that normally. Okay, I don't know if the people listening to me know me or you don't know me. Better you don't know me, so I can surprise you even more. I started about 3 years ago, and in the time of COVID-19, there was no employment, there was nothing to do, so I decided to do Power BI. And I kind of became known because my participation in challenges. So that was the way for me to practice, to learn and to share with the community. And from there, my career in Power BI. But my career is what I do for a living. What I do for a living is bringing people together. Okay, preparing challenges so you can enjoy, providing some one-to-one and mentoring training. That's what it is for me. That might be totally different for you. So today we are going to talk about it is worthy of this very fancy chart and report that we see on LinkedIn, or they are only for showcases. And when you go to work, you have to prepare something totally different. Okay, let me try to explain a bit better. Okay, there you go, some very fancy chart. That is quite normal. We cannot play with the subtitle, and we can format and we can enter new information, but that you might not have seen it very often. It comes from a line chart that look like a zebra BI chart. That is quite original. Okay, and then we have a list stick. If you look at this one, it comes from a combo align and clustered column chart. So basically, one of these is the line and the other one is the column. This one, and that's what I wanted to talk. Let me tell you what happened when you start. I need to come here and to select the chart. If not, it doesn't allow me to see how many steps we have to prepare something like that. Okay, we are going to work later on in this one, but I want you to understand that they look quite good and they behave quite well. So all of them work perfectly. And this particular one, 2010, because we tried to compare last year and there is no data, we have a second layer that is telling us there is no data for the time period selected. So they can be presented in a Word report. Now you need to actually explain your client what actually that means. And that's where the complication starts, because this might be very good looking too, but you have to explain, okay, the green line means that last year, that this year we have sold more than last year, and that red means the opposite, that this year we sold less than last year. So it gets complicated. The more fancy you want to become with chart, it gets more complicated to explain. And when you go to work, you will realize that what you want to give to your user is actually something that he can read, operate, and understand simply. It's as simple as that, guys. You are going to go to work and you are going to do a lot of column and bar charts because everybody understands them. And I want you to get a challenge, learn how to do this fancy chart and practice them. But when you want to apply for a job, when you are going to present a project, or when you are going to present your portfolio, you need to become more business oriented. So all these have no use. Well, maybe this one. The rest have no use, believe me, in business real reporting. That is a line chart, and the only difference is have around the corner. It looks quite good, and it behaves quite good. You can see the little markers falling down. And that is also moved very well. But are they really to be used in business? Let me tell you how many formulas. So let me open this one. So we have 0, that is the dark is 0. 0 is this line, white line going down there. The positive is the green, or that is the negative. I think that the negative is the red, and the positive is the green. So you need 3 measures to begin with to start working with that. Then you have to go to the error bar. Okay, and then you need to start Who cannot see the screen?
Don't worry. I think I was about to reply him. I can see the screen on my two devices. So usually when this happens, Adewale, please, you can exit and rejoin. Then you'll see the screen because it's actually visible. So it's just maybe at your own Teams. So Federico, you can carry on.
Okay. Okay. As I was telling, just to prepare this chart, no matter how good looking it is, there are almost 7 different processes that has to be actually worked out. And you need to understand how to get there. And that's why I call it here, or the title is Studying the Creative. You need to put your head in the mind of the people who actually create that. They are not mine. I just use them for presentations. Explanation. You need to think about how the people are thinking in their head, because the idea is not for you just to copy the chart. That will be kind of easy. They need to understand the process behind these people's head to understand how they came up with a solution. Okay, and you can see when we are looking at the measures, that's the negative. Well, if profit is different, it's smaller than 0, give me the profit difference. Okay, and the other one is the same but positive. What they are doing is telling me, okay, now I have 2 measures. One is going to be for the green line, and now it's going to be for the red line. And then I know, okay, that playing with the error bar give me a line. That's the red one. It gives me the line, and then I'm going to use the marker in the line, because it's a line chart, remember? It's a line chart. I'm going to use the marker to bring the little square at the top. The only thing they are representing is the difference between this year and last year's sale. And I think we can achieve better, easier to understand chart by using the normal Power BI selection. I want you to practice. I would like you to understand the process in the head, okay? But remember, that will be used very rarely, very occasionally. It takes time to understand and to explain. So, yeah, good looking, Federico. It's fantastic looking chart, but is it what we want? That is quite the same. It's a line chart. You go to the line, you see the line is 0. It's because I changed that later. The line is 0, so there is no line. And we go to the marker and we have a circle, the one at the top. And now how do we achieve this one? We have to come again to the error bar. We are going to put the 0. That will make the line going from the top to 0. And then we have to give it the same color, the same size, to make it rounding and matching. If I bring this up, you can see it looks formal. So you need to play with all that and the marker to actually, okay. So it's trickery. That is quite nice to actually learn and know. I'm not taking that away. I am a fan of studying the creative. However, I realized that that's not what you want to show to your boss. That's not what you want to show to your future employer. What you want to show to your future employer is something that he understands in no time. It's well presented, properly aligned, okay, have a good color palette, and explain what it needs to explain. And I want you to think about that, because I see many reports trying to imitate what we report designer that our employment is totally different than what you're gonna get, put on LinkedIn or we put online. And remember, these are showcases report. I present that for you to come to my challenges, to join my challenge, to bring you to my room or my business. When I have to work for somebody else, I will never do anything of what I do normally, because we have to make a difference between work, okay, and good-looking fancy reports. So if you're a young analyst and you're looking your way in the world of Power BI, think about, okay, yeah, I'm going to learn what Federico is teaching, all this trick and everything. I like to know, why not? But I also going to focus my attention to what I want to do. What is the objective of the report, or what is the employer looking for? I'm going to present something quick, nice, well-oriented, nice color palette, and uncomplicated. And I'm going to show you later on something that it happened recently. And I'm going to put you one on my report, and I'm going to put you another report that my student provide to a job application, and he got the job. And that's what you want. You want to get the job. You don't need to get a claim in LinkedIn. That's personal ego, but what you need is a job. So now that you are kind of learning the road, remember, yes, I'm going to learn all the tricks, but when I'm going to prepare on my portfolio, or I'm going to prepare a report for an application, work application, I need to focus my attention and to apply the report very differently. Okay, so all these tricks, I think Temi that you had the presentation, if he want to share it with you guys, you can study them and see what is going on. This is a very simple chart again. We had total sale last year, and then we had to come back again to the error bar, and you will see that that bar is the one inside. That's supposed to be the line chart. Okay, if I come to the line, you will see that the line is 0. I don't need any marker because there are no marker in there. It's just the error bar coming from the top to 0. And then I have given it some, I widen it up to 10 to make it bigger. If you see that is the actually 0 chart, the 0 measure, it go align to 0. Okay, and by making it bigger, you can do a little bit bigger with the border and the same color. It looked like a listy chart, and it worked fantastically. Okay, you can put tooltip. Nobody is telling you that it doesn't give you the information you need, but you need to explain. Another important thing is that today we have quite a lot of new stuff. We have the subtitle and the title that we can now use. So the title is a measure, and I think sales 2021. So it's a dynamic, it's a dynamic title, 19, 20, 21, and then the subtitle is another measure. Subtitle list. Let me show it to you. Where's the list? That's another thing, because I got so many different graphics. I have to make sure all my measures are grouped properly. If not, I lose control what measure belong to what. Subtitle. Okay, so that is the, I don't know if you can see that, but that's an space. I did bring it down one. I don't like to be too close to the title, and last year sale, and then I format the another measure in there to come to that. Okay. So you see the separator of the pie bars, and you see that is a percentage, and then the sale different. Sale year KPI formatted. So I use a KPI measure in here, KPI formatted in that somewhere. I use this one that is already formatted to actually put it into the subtitle. My point is that you have to make so many steps to get there. That I don't know how much of interest, okay, will be to present in another report. Yes, I think the subtitle have it used. You cannot overdo it, because if you overdo it, you can write actually a book on the subtitle and it will show all there. Okay, but we need to think about what I'm trying to explain. Okay, in the report, okay, to my end user, to my boss, or to the boss or the human resources guy who is checking my work. This is quite the same. So total sales is the green bar, and the red one, it has to be a totally different one that is not this one. Upper bound and lower bound. You see, that is the problem. I got two total sales that they're supposed to be the same, but I don't know where right now this come from, when actually it was me who actually created, well, recreated the chart. That is total sales, and that is sales. Okay, so that red line had to be coming from somewhere, but I cannot find it. Upper bar, lower bound, it had to be another one. Okay, that one I cannot find it. I will look for it later. Don't be surprised, I cannot find it now. Sometimes this happens. I want you to look at this one. Look at now. Can you see now the line? They lost the arrows. But if I click again, it come back. So sometimes this little error happen in this chart, and if I click again, it change again. I don't know why. And it's look the bar. So you need to be careful when working with this kind of chart, because they are quite good looking but difficult to explain. And I want you to show where these two come from. And I think you got a very good clue. And I have to open again. I have to open the selection pane and pick it up. If no, I cannot see the format, because I got a second one line that is that one behind, that is this one. If I do not select here, I cannot see the format painter, the format panel. Okay, so let me come here. Let me change that to 2021. Remember, we said that we are coming from a line, a cluster column chart. So it have a chart, it have columns and lines. Okay. So let's come here, and the line is 0. So none of them come from a line because it's 0. The marker is off. So neither the arrows come from the marker because they are off. You might find some clue there. So this light green is actually a bar, and this one is a bar. And then these are simply error bars. Okay, so if this magic or actually hiding these two column chart or columns, sorry, columns, okay, that made the magic happen. But you can see they are just columns. And that is an error, normal error, but it's taking you from sale to sale last year, as you can see. Okay, or from sale last year to sale. And the same for this one. Another thing that is difficult to see, you need to come to the top of the error bar to actually be able to, if not, you lose it. Therefore, you need to use different tooltip to be able to see it. So why did I call this session a critique? I do believe with the new progress and update the Microsoft team are doing with the native visual, we have more than enough to present a super good looking report without anything special that will get you into the job and keep you progressing in your job. Because the most important is the analysis, is to reach the objective. So that's what is taking the time to learn is what he wants to show and what is the best chart to show that. Rather than, oh, I'm going to create this looking alike several PBI chart because it looks quite good, but then you have to spend some time building it and some time explaining to your boss, hoping they will know, break down, and will show you the wrong information like this case again. When you know, no, that was a red, why is now all green? And you cannot explain. Okay? So remember the point today, you have sufficient charts and graphing here, or you can use some custom visual that will allow you, okay, to show, okay, in a very good way without any problem. Let me ask you this question. Okay, so that is mine. That had 100,000 views in LinkedIn. I'm not kidding. 100,000 views in LinkedIn is Novi Pro, is a portfolio site, most voted report. Okay, and it's quite good looking. Will I present that to our employer? No, simply no. That is to boost my ego with so many views and make me feel, okay, that wasn't bad. This one, look at how simple it is. It's just a column bar, two column bars, some KPI at the top, a line separating. These are, it's a Spanish report. That is local holiday maker in Spain. That how many? That the average expenditure and average staying in the paid holiday within Spain, and that for international holiday maker. It had everything that it was asked in the technical test. This guy got the job. I prefer this one than this one like 100 times. This got me the job. This boosts my ego. My ego gets boosted if I don't make any money, so I cannot eat the report. I need to carry on making a living. So look at how simple. KPIs were organized, were separated, aligned properly to a good color palette, nothing complicated. You have two matrices or table, I think they're matrices, and one showing you the normal figure, and then you have the percentage. It's clean, it's easy to see. You can read what you're reading with a very, just a simple look at it. So remember, this for the job, this to boost your ego in LinkedIn. And if you get 98K views, then your ego is quite big. Okay, that is not good neither, because you now have to produce things like that all the time. They become very, very demanding. Okay, but remember, that's what you want to create. Yeah, you can present, you can add a couple of the new KPI card, you will be able to introduce some icons and some arrows. You can do all that, that is okay, but don't try to embellish it too much. It doesn't make you any favor. Okay, so I will use this one for job, and that to make me feel happy every time I see how many people went and check the report. Okay. Okay, let me tell you how many. Okay, for most of these, for this one, you need 3 major and 7 different steps. And that's what I want also to talk about it. All these processes are necessary to be able to build that one. And always there are going to be problems. Or the labor are going to get in the middle of the way. Okay, or it might give you wrong information. And you have to work quite a lot, actually, to get here. That, you only have 2 measures. And the color is there. I don't have to do anything because it's telling me the positive, that the measure is telling you positive up, is negative down, and only have to put the color in there. And it will work fantastically. That cannot, because they are all working together. That is a lot better than this one, and I think it will be more appealing, okay, to a employer than this one. And that, guys, is simply that. That is. We don't need to go all fancy on that. That is a column chart, end of the day, that you put the round corner or not. It's totally just aesthetic. Okay? That is what you will show. Probably you give it some space between the column. That is just fancy. Okay? And this one, I will also change it to a column chart where I put sale on one side and last year, the other side. You can see the difference between sales and sale last year, and that's what you want to put. That's what you want to show. What is the difference between this year's sale and last year's sale? Okay? They label properly put in there, and anyone can read that chart because you are telling them, listen, green is sales. Last year's sale is blue. You cannot put in red because it will be negative. Okay? But you can show the same end of business using a column chart. Remember that. And it doesn't need any massive step or prepare the measure, prepare the marker, prepare the remarker, 2 measures and minimum formatting. 2 measures and the column. There is no more to it. Okay, and if you want to do that with the sales last year, normal sales and sale last year, sale and sale last year, in a column chart, you will have side by side the 2 columns. One will be sale, one last year sale. Okay, good labels in it, a good title. Okay, you might use the title to provide some more information, maybe sales different, margin. Okay, and that's it. You have achieved what you wanted to achieve. Everybody can understand. Okay, and you don't need to go over 20 steps. Okay, that I like. Okay, step 1 is this one, it just provides me, I want you to understand this. It's telling you repeat that the Unichar A203 is an space. I need an space, okay, for that to happen. And then give me Unichar 10. Unichar 10 is a step down. It's a space down, okay? And repeat 5 times. You will see if I do here 7, it will go down. Okay, so what I'm telling you, I'm playing with this to actually position it in the right place. Okay, so that's okay. Then I go sales, and then I go the format of total sales, because that is in the subtitle, is now a string, it's not an integer anymore. You need to format it to make an integer or to give the appearance of a number. Okay, that was important. That's step 1. That when you use it, I think this one you can substitute it with 2 quotes and a space, and will do quite the same. But I give you a text. Basically, you need that. Unishare 10 is a step down, and then repeat that the formula repeated 5 times, or many times you have to put it together. That is step 1 is quite simple, and it provides information. Before, we used to put a measuring sign there and a title on the top. Now you can do something different. So now we go to step 2. So we got the same until here, and then we add. Remember, we are adding another step down, so the percentage will come down, and then I'm formatting the margin. And I'm using a very simple string formatting, is %. Okay, don't worry about how to do that. There are plenty of places you can look how to do it. Just sometimes get lost on that. Or I keep trying until I got it right, or I go to any of the many places you have for formatting a number and find about it. Okay, but now it's still looking good. Perhaps we need to give an explanation. What is that? And then we know it's the margin %, but there is nothing there that is telling me. And step 3, we keep adding things. Okay, remember, that's the first thing I have to do. And that is the first step. The second step, okay, is to put the arrow in front of the percentage. So I can to introduce here, give me a step, some variables that allow me to see the arrow up or down, okay, depending on if they are positive or negative. One problem with this, that I cannot give color to the arrow. Before it used to be, I have not found a way, in this way, to actually say, well, okay, give me a red or give me a green arrow. If anyone finds a solution for that, please let me know. I can do it with a normal icon, but I cannot do it in this solution. And step 3 is just give me the format. Remember, if you look at here, there is no Unichar 10. I'm not asking for it to go down. I want you now to give me the margin percentage in %. And I want you to see that it works. And you see how it changes? So it works perfectly well. That's something that can be implemented in any business report. It's not difficult to complain. The formula is there, and you have 3 different steps if you only want to show the sales and the percentage, the percentage with the arrow telling you when it go up or down. Okay, so that probably I will use it very often in work if I have to, for work. The other one, I will not. So let's see how this is done, because I need you to understand the steps. Okay, so I actually have to write this down. I have it written in a piece of paper. Not a piece of paper. I use some pad notes on my computer, but it's there. And I have to also make sure I got everything here, so I knew what I have to enter. Remember the problem. I need to go to View, Selection, Visual, for me to see, and every section you, hey, enter in the y-axis. No, the first step, the amount of the top. Okay, 2, in this order, I had to enter it in this order. Shoreline green, sale last year, and shoreline red. Okay, so the blue line is the sale last year. This one is the green line that you don't see, the column chart it is there. And I don't know why this now doesn't come up. As you can see, the little problem you have to face. Pick up the column. There you go. Doesn't change now. What about if I go blue? Go blue is okay. Okay, but for you to know, there are the 2 columns. Selection, don't get lost. Okay, in the y-axis, put last year. That is not in this step. Then step 3, you have to the error bar. Make sure you have, the first thing to do is shoreline green, and you have to make sure you format everything here. Okay, then shoreline red, and have to do the same. You have to add these measures that they are here prepared for that. Let's see, lower bound. Last year is 0. That is not complicated. And upper bound is no, it's blank. Sale variation chart, total sales. Okay. I don't need to go the hassle just to show a variation or sale this year and sale last year. I think I can do a better job with a simple chart for the menu. And remember this issue. What I like about this one is that when I go here and there is no data, it's telling me, hey, there is no data. Okay, because I'm trying to compare last year with 2018, so there is no data. I cannot show you this chart. I can do it here. I can do here. I can do here. But remember, all this step has to be added, okay, in order to make this possible. And another issue is that I'm going to tell you what I cannot do. If I go to title, can you see that? Okay, if I go to 2018, yeah, and there is no way I can get rid of it. So one of the problems is that now, where do I put the title? Sorry, where do I put the title in order for when it's showing 2018 doesn't show? I might be able to do it using some conditional formatting, but still is unnecessarily complicated. So there you go, a very good looking chart. I think, tell me that you have a copy of the file if you want to ask him to send it to you, so you can let how they go. But I think that one at the bottom will take you further in your job application and your future employment. That this one, that is just me making sure you like my work. Okay, I'm not telling you that it's ugly, but it's not a working report. So there is nothing more for me to show up today. So if you have any questions, now is the time to drive me crazy.
I have a question before Timidayo comes up. So my question is, Can you hear me, Federico?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's so how do you come about, this? How do you know that this is what you want, and then you begin to, mix things together to achieve it? How do you come about this? Look at even your presentation. You use the Power BI as the PowerPoint, and you're very creative. Like, can you give us the secret? How do you come up with these concepts?
Michael, I've been doing Power BI now for 3.5 years, more or less. If I show you my first report, you probably laugh about it. When I discover what I like it to do in Power BI, that is creative report development, training people, I needed to produce some good-looking reports. So I have done quite a lot of courses on graphic design, UX, and UI. And then it just not being complicated with color. You need to pick a color, try to go monochromatic. There are plenty of sample and website where you can look for inspiration. Don't copy. I do not recommend you to do that. I want you to get the inspiration and giving your personality. But it is a process of learning and time to actually come to the end of your role, your niche, where you are going to dedicate yourself in Power BI to be able to produce better looking reports, use Power BI as a PowerPoint presentation. Actually, my first course during COVID-19, when I started, was a PowerPoint presentation. I think I got quite a lot of ideas for PowerPoint. But I started understanding color and color palette. My wife get now mad when she look at me in the supermarket looking at the product. I said, well, you want that? And I said, no, I'm looking at the color palette. Okay, because it has a good color palette. Sometimes I take a picture of what I see on the street. And then I look at this, oh, I like that color palette. And I try to apply it in my report. I am now a bit more easygoing, and I try to be more focused on good looking, well prepared, properly aligned and sized report without too much complication. Because it's a process. I think people like to see this flashing report. I think when I realized that I was semi-terrible at DAX, I said, well, I had to do something else. If not, I'm not making a penny out of Power BI. So I came from the design, UX and UI of Power BI. Does it reply to your question, Michael?
Yes, thank you. Wow.
My pleasure.
Anybody has question? Temida, over to you.
Okay. Awesome. And yeah, it's amazing learning from you. Okay, so someone has a question. Aziz, right? He said, "Hi, Federico. How do you identify the metrics and measure to use in your report as an analyst? Also, how do you decide the report layout to allow the user of the report make sense of the information? Thank you."
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good question. And I'm going to tell you a very easy answer, because normally when you are working from someone, they're going to tell you exactly what they want and how they want it. So those metrics that you are right now have to invent, you are participating in challenges or working, as I call it, 3 hours at home. Okay. You need to come up with all these new metrics and how can I focus that? That doesn't happen in the work environment. Normally in the work environment, they're going to tell you what metric they're looking for. Well, you need to actually translate those metrics into that and how to apply it properly in the report. You need to know what chart is good for this. If I want to represent whole to a portion, or if I want to represent a timeline, you need to know why I'm going to use a line chart, if I'm going to use a column chart. Okay, that you need to learn it. Okay, but the metric and the layout, don't worry too much about it, because that will be given to you at the work environment. Normally, when you get to a place to work, they have everything prepared. Don't be scared or anything. Don't be scared about, I don't know too much that, because they have been doing Power BI in there for a time, and you got people that are senior, they're going to tell you, we do this way. we do this way. So that should not be something to stop you applying for a job. I think that now if you're participating in challenge, your imagination, just throw everything you have. I try different layout and different metrics. And for what I do, it's out of my head. I have no direction. And I sometimes question, do they make sense? Because I have no direction. I just coming out of my head. So through these 3.5, well, I normally do business intelligence. I know that profit is important. I know that sales is important. I know that margin percentage of gross margin is important. So I try to bring quite the same metrics in almost all the business intelligence report I use. Some time intelligence last year, last quarter, last month. Okay, but I think what is important is, okay, I got all the measures. Now, what chart should I put in this situation? And then put it nice. The color. I sometimes listen. You need to go to the color palette or the color thing in Power BI. You need to pick one that is simple, monochromatic. You cannot go orange, green, yellow, and red all in one because it looks terrible. Go simple, go monochromatic, look for inspiration in your training. Work, I shouldn't worry too much about it because everything is going to be taught to you how to do it.
Awesome. That's I think you actually said it all. Like, I always ask questions because clients know what they want, so they'll tell you what they actually want. Someone else was up, but I think person later dropped this. And if you have any question, you can still put it in the chat box. So while we wait for question, right? I think Frederick, we had like 2 questions. We usually ask our special guest in the end. Okay, I can see there's a chat. Let me check it out. Okay, hi Federico, great presentation. Is there a huge demand in the job market for data visualization specialists with Power BI? Will it be necessary to learn SQL for direct query in Power BI? What resources can you recommend for choosing color palette for Power BI reports? Thank you.
Okay, let's go first with the data visualization skill. Data visualization is storytelling. They can kind of hand in hand. For me, they are different skills, but they can very strong hand on hand. So you need to learn a little bit about data visualization, but you will see that when you are in the workplace, they don't worry too much about storytelling, or they try to worry too much, but it's difficult to achieve proper storytelling without embellishing the report too much. Okay, so data visualization is important from the standpoint of you need to know what chart to use. Okay, and using the right chart in the right moment. Okay, and something that we don't use very much is the smart narrative card. That is your storytelling.
It's free, it's easy to use, it's safe. Visit www.voicestat.com. Sign up now.
I can hear some background noise. And so a smart narrative is something that people don't use, and that is your storytelling. Okay, you prepare a chart and visa you put a smart narrative, and we have seen some changes from the last year to this year, maybe due to the war in Ukraine, for example. That is your storytelling. And with the right chart, you have achieved your data visualization. SQL, I am really good at SQL using the select statement, and that's it. I'm quite honest about it, but you know why? Because my job is data visualization. So I normally, when I work with someone, I got people that actually do that for me. Basically, nobody's gonna let you touch a database for the company if you are not a SQL expert. You cannot mess up the database. I want you to think about how the work environment works. You might have in Power BI Service a number of Power BI report with tables that you can gather you from that Power BI report and do your report. It's gonna be a bit difficult to have direct access to the SQL database, and if you have access to the SQL database, they're going to be views on some restricted table. Yes, it's important to learn about it. You don't need to become a SQL expert, but it is important to know what you are reading. You need to learn how Power BI works. So it's direct import, or I forgot the other one. You need to know what they are meaning. Okay, but again, if you have to learn about that, you need to learn about when Power Query break. I can't remember the name, but if you don't follow the right step, it break the query and you have to come back. So don't worry too much and be an expert and everything. Pick out your niche, and your niche is what you specialize at. That doesn't mean that you don't need to know about the stuff. It's important to know. And if you look at now, Power BI nowadays is changing constantly. The environment getting more complicated. Power BI administration, you have now Fabric, OneLake, Azure. You got so many different roles within Power BI that you need to know what you want to do. You might decide to end doing data engineering, and it still is related to Power BI, because from there I'm going to get the data. So look up for your niche. I think something important is look what you want to do for real, because your mind will change, and stick to it and see how it goes before trying to do everything in one go. To do SQL, Excel, and Power BI at the same time is driving you crazy. And one day you will sit down in the sofa and stay off the computer for a month. It happened to me. You get burned. So step by step, look at what you like. As you grow in your learning, you will grow in your understanding of Power BI. Everything will be easier for you to understand. You will understand Power Query better. You will understand when to use that, or when to use the other stuff. And remember, when you go to work, you have a team around you, and you are the junior data analyst, and they are there to get you off trouble. You don't need to get there and be the boss. They are the bosses. Okay, they are the one making the money. Ask them.
Okay, awesome. So someone asked the question. He said, "Okay, hi Federico, how will you rate Power BI predictive model?" He said he used the variation chart a lot. So how will you rate Power BI predictive model?
I haven't used predictive model before. You're talking about E.
I don't know. I think it's more like the forecast part. Let me make him a speaker so he can explain better. I think that's tell something. I'm coming.
Oh, predictive model. Yeah, if you're talking about finance, you're talking to the wrong guy. I never done finance in my life. And I was little, the only thing I could count was the money I had in my pocket. Okay, so I'm most of a business intelligence background. And what I can tell you is that if you are from the finance or you have a finance background, you can do anything in Power BI, from forecasting to predictive modeling. You can do. The problem at present is that perhaps you do not have the facility you have in Excel regarding tables and matrices. You have to use a lot of tricks, but you can create a proper finance report.
Okay, so I think Paul, you can speak now.
Hope you are doing well. I just wanted to ask about the Power BI predictive model, that is the forecasting feature. So I hope you will answer my question.
Okay, yeah, thank you. As I told you, that if you know what you're doing, if that is your background and you know about forecasting and predictive modeling, Power BI have the necessary tools and the necessary formatting options in the analytic pane, okay, to go through it. How you do that? Well, you have to go to the analytic pane and do it. I can't tell you because I don't have a finance background. Because you know Power BI doesn't mean that you know about every single niche. So what I can tell you is that I have seen finance report and they are quite good, and they have everything that is sufficient. Okay, in the same way that you will do in Excel, a bit more complicated, but it can be done. Temida is saying we are seeing a revolution in changes in Power BI, so maybe in the future it will be easier and better to simpler to do.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Okay. Thank you for your question. So if you have another question, you can try. Okay, I think I'll just make you an attendee back. I think you have like a background noise or something. Oh, sorry about that. If you have any other question, you can raise your hands before we let Federico go because we'll be leaving very soon. Okay, so Frederick, I call you Federico rather, Federico.
It's okay, Federico.
I have a very close friend called Frederick. Okay, so Federico, so tell us how you started your old data. I actually know how you started your journey, but can you tell the audience how you started your old data journey? And also, most times we usually have people that want to upskill and people that are just starting out. So what advice you have for people just starting out in the data field also?
Let me tell you how I started. I think kind of I was lucky, if I can say so. COVID-19 just came in 2020 February. I lost my job. I have nothing to do, and after 2 weeks of watching Netflix all the time, I decided, okay, I need to do something about it. I'm bored. So I started checking the internet, and a lot of courses about Power BI, Tableau, Excel were coming out. And I said, okay, I'm going to try to do this. Okay, so I wanted to be a data scientist until I realized, no, Federico, you are not a data scientist, no matter what you do. So I found courses in Udemy and I started doing them. And then I found Maven Analytics and I started studying with them. They were very nice to me. I didn't have no money at that time. We were surviving with half of the salary of my wife because they were cutting down in salaries. So I did not have money to pay for the monthly subscription, and they called me, they said, Federico, you go freeway here. So I did as much as possible. Now that's fine, but I cannot apply for a job because there were no jobs. How do I practice? So challenges. I started participating in challenges, and that's how my skill got better and better and better. And it has taken me 3.5 years to actually have a better understanding of everything. So the data analysis career is not a quick one. You don't become a data analyst with a Power BI course in 3 months. You need to carry on working. You need to carry on studying. You need to carry on improving your skills. And that's how I became a data analyst. Now, I think that is important because in my previous job, and I'm going to tell you in secret, I used to do data analysis of a very different kind. Okay, I work for an airline, and I used to track down human trafficking and travel document fraud organization operating in the airline. I mean, buying tickets in the airline, and that gave me a view of data analysis. But I never saw my job as a data analysis job. Now, I can tell you that what I was actually doing was quite a lot of data analysis, profiling and trying to find this organization that use the airline to traffic or to use falsification, documentation, visa, passport, and everything. So now I understand where I have my data analysis view from, and that was from my previous job. Thanks to COVID, I was able to study for 2.5 years constantly. I was like 6-7 hours in Power BI every day, or Excel, or Tableau, or learning and learning and learning. What to recommend if you are new to the industry? One, don't rush. I know that everybody needs money and you have to make a living, but you have no data analysis background, if you have no worked with Excel before properly, if you have no worked with Power BI properly before, take it step by step. Don't try to take too much. It will not help. Let's manage Excel properly. And when I say properly, it doesn't mean that you need to know how to build a 20-line formula. That is not. What I'm telling about that is that if you are working being intelligent, you need to learn the basic function of formula that help you in your job. COUNTIF, SUMIF, pivot table, power pivot. Okay, so you just pick up what is important for your job and apply it. When you have that in your back, when you say, okay, now I feel confident, I might need to refer sometimes to something, but I'm confident, then I go to Power BI and I carry on doing the same. I'm gonna learn a little bit of SQL, okay, but don't rush it. It will not help, okay? And when you feel that you have the necessary knowledge, and the necessary knowledge doesn't need to be too high, start applying for the work. If you don't apply, if you feel like you are not good enough, if you feel like you are an impostor, you are not gonna get the job. Never. So don't be afraid. You know a couple of things. You have a background, or you study and have a background in engineering or numbers or accounting or finance or business. Okay, you have what you need to actually in your head, the math, the understanding, okay, to put your knowledge into employment. Okay, it is for them to actually show you what they want you to do. It's not for you just go in there, get in the office and start preparing reports. It doesn't work like that. You go there, you're going to sit down, they're going to tell you, okay, we need that from you. Can you do that? If you need any help, ask this person or that's your manager. And then you have your friend in the team that you can say, listen, I lost. And don't be afraid. Everybody has been lost at a time. So step by step, don't be afraid. Nobody's perfect. And it takes time to get to a certain level. Okay, I still have a lot to learn. If you want to catch up with me, you need to be 3.5 doing Power BI. And when that happens, I will have 7 years and you will still be behind. Everybody wants to write DAX, like Marco Russo and Alberto Ferrari. Yes, I want to do DAX. No, they have been 15 years in the business. They have been 15 years in the business. You cannot do that like them if you have not been 15 years in the business. So do not compare yourself to others, step by step, and I'm sure you will get there.
Awesome.
Any more questions?
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I think you actually said it all. You basically said it all. Like, take
Yeah, I
time.
speak too much. I speak
Take
too much.
the imposter syndrome. Just try your luck out, and something will definitely come out. Okay, I think we actually learned a lot. We definitely learned a lot from you, Federico. And also, I've dropped for some of you that are asking. I've dropped the PBIX file Federico used today. I've actually dropped it in the chat box, so you can also check it out and just download it and also try out some things yourself and basically learn, because we keep learning every day basically. So Federico, I'll say thank you very, very much. We'll be ending this section now, and I'll say everyone, do have a lovely week ahead. I know tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow is a new week. So everyone, I'll say bye. Frederick, thank you so
Thank you.
so
Thank you for
very much.
inviting me. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye everyone. Bye guys.